Hey, welcome to Attack the Stack. Like that? Try this. Nioh is an action role-playing video game developed by Team Ninja for the PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Windows. Gameplay revolves around navigating levels and defeating monsters that have infested an area. Nioh takes place in the early 1600s during a fictionalized version of the Sengoku period, when Japan was in the midst of civil war prior to the ascension of the Tokugawa shogunate. An Anglo-Irish sailor named William, in pursuit of an enemy, arrives in Japan and is enlisted by Hattori Hanzo, servant to Tokugawa Ieyasu, in defeating yokai that are flourishing in the chaos of war. Beginning development in 2004 as a multimedia project based on an unfinished Akira Kurosawa script, it went through multiple revisions over the following 8 years. The story was based on the life of historic Western samurai William Adams, although it was embellished with supernatural elements. Upon release, Nioh received positive reviews, with critics favorably comparing it to the Souls series. Blade of the Immortal is a 2017 samurai film starring Takuya Kimura and Hana Sugisaki and directed by Takashi Miike. It is based on the successful manga series by Hiroki Samura covering the first 2 arcs of the series. The film premiered out of competition at the 2017 Cannes Film Festival and was released theatrically in Japan by Warner Bros. Pictures on April 29, 2017. The film follows the immortal samurai Manji, who can regenerate his own severed limbs, on the path of blood, iron, and honor. Bloodborne is an action role-playing game developed by From Software and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation 4. Bloodborne follows the player's character, the Hunter, through the decrepit, Gothic, Victorian-era inspired city of Yharnam, whose inhabitants have been afflicted with an abnormal bloodborne disease. Players battle varied enemies, including bosses, while using items such as swords and firearms as they journey through the story, exploring the game's different locations, interacting with non-player characters, collecting key items involved in the story, and discovering and unraveling the world's many mysteries. Bloodborne was partially inspired by the literary works of authors H.P. Lovecraft and Bram Stoker, and the architectural design of certain real-world locations in places such as Romania and the Czech Republic. Bloodborne received critical acclaim, with praise being directed at its gameplay, particularly its high level of difficulty, sound design, atmospheric environments, interconnected world design, and plot, and is often regarded as an important example of video games as art. Bloodborne was nominated for many awards and accolades and has been cited as one of the greatest video games of all time. Ninja Scroll is a 1993 Japanese animated Jirageki Chambara film written and directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. The film was a co-production between JVC, Toho, Movic, and Animate, with Madhouse serving as the animation studio. Ninja Scroll was theatrically released in Japan on June 5, 1993, and received an English-dubbed release in Western countries through Manga Entertainment in 1995. The film takes place in feudal Japan and follows Jubei Kibagami, a mercenary swordsman who battles the 8 Devils of Kimon, a team of ninjas with supernatural powers who are intent on overthrowing the Tokugawa shogunate. During his quest, he is aided by Dakuan, an elderly but crafty government spy, and Kagero, a Koga Kunoichi whose body is infused with poisonous toxins. Ninja Scroll's story and style was influenced by the works of novelist Futaro Yamada and Western spy fiction, with Jubei's character being loosely inspired by the historical figure Yagyu Jubei Mitsuyoshi. Praised for its animation and action scenes, Ninja Scroll is regarded by many as one of the most influential anime films ever made. Alongside Akira and Ghost in the Shell, it was responsible for increasing the popularity of adult-oriented anime outside of Japan. The film has been cited by the Wachowskis as an influence on the Matrix franchise and resulted in Kawajiri later contributing to 2 segments of the anthology film The Animatrix. Souls is a series of action role-playing games developed by From Software. The series began with the release of Demon's Souls for the PlayStation 3 in 2009 and was followed by Dark Souls and its sequels Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 in the 2010s. The series' creator, Hidetaka Miyazaki, served as the director for each of them with the exception of Dark Souls 2. The Souls games are playable in a third-person perspective and focus on exploring interconnected environments while fighting enemies with weapons, magic, or both. Players battle bosses to progress through the story while interacting with strange non-playable characters. The series has been both praised and criticized for its high level of game difficulty and is considered a spiritual successor to Kingsfield. Although I think the original Dark Souls is the best in the series, we recommend Dark Souls 3 because the combat system is faster, thus making it more comparable to Sekiro. Ronin is a 1985 epic period drama film directed, edited, and co-written by Akira Kurosawa. The plot derives from William Shakespeare's King Lear and includes segments based on legends of the daimyo Mori Motonari. The film stars Tatsuya Nakadai as Hidetora Ichimonji, an aging Sengoku period warlord who decides to abdicate as ruler in favor of his 3 sons. As Kurosawa's last epic, Ronin has often been cited as amongst his finest achievements and is widely regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. With a budget of $11 million, it was the most expensive Japanese film produced up to that time. The film was hailed for its powerful images and use of color. Not only is Akira Kurosawa one of the greatest film directors of all time, but many of his films could have easily made this list. Lords of the Fallen is an action role-playing game developed by Deck 13 Interactive and CI Games. It was released in October 2014 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. A mobile version of the game, which features one-to-one swipe combat controls, was released on February 9th, 2017 for iOS and Android as a paid game with in-app purchases. Players journey through mysterious, large, interconnected environments battling beastly, disfigured enemies including bosses, using melee weapons, such as axes and hammers. Players control Harkin, as he is sent on a mission to stop a powerful god's mysterious demonic forces as they invade the world to reclaim it after being dethroned.
Why were those men chasing you?
Sword of the Stranger is a 2007 Japanese anime film directed by Matsuhiro Ando and produced by the animation studio Bones. The film follows Kotaro, a boy who is hunted by a group of Ming Dynasty swordsmen for mysterious reasons. Among the group is a fearsome Western fighter named Luo Leng, whose only desire is to find a worthy opponent. Kotaro and his dog find Nanashi, an unnamed Ronin who is mysterious for his memories of his past that led him to avoid taking his sword again. When the Ming clash with the feudal lord of the Sengoku era, a proud general and monks divided between faith and survival, the reason behind the persecution of the Ming group tests the bond between Kotaro and Nanashi.
Creo World is totally awesome. You so wish you were here right now.
The Surge is a science fiction action role-playing video game developed by Deck 13 Interactive and published by Focus Home Interactive for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game takes place in a dystopian future where humans have exhausted the world's resources, leading to strained social service and environmental diseases. The proliferation of drones and working robots has created mass unemployment, with humans forced to resort to augmentations and powered rigs to keep up with the far more efficient equivalent. The gameplay involves players using an exoskeleton to battle enemies. The exoskeleton can be customized through the game using modular upgrades. The combat allows players to target different body parts of enemies, as well as utilize finishing moves, often ending in dismemberment in bullet time fashion. "13 Assassins" is a 2010 samurai film directed by Takashi Miike, a remake of Ichie Kuro's 1963 Japanese black and white film 13 Assassins. Loosely based on historical events, the film is set in 1844 toward the end of the Edo period, where a group of 13 assassins, composed of 12 samurai and a hunter, secretly plot to assassinate the savage leader of the Akashi clan, Lord Matsudaira Naritsugu, before his appointment to the powerful shogunate council. The film opened in Japan on September 25, 2010, and in the United States on April 29, 2011, to very good reviews.
Even I am aware that there are times when sides must be chosen. Take this weapon, and know that I have chosen mine.
Darksiders 3 is a hack-and-slash action-adventure video game developed by Gunfire Games and published by THQ Nordic for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One in 2018. Darksiders 3 is an action-adventure game with Metroidvania and Souls-like gameplay elements. Players take control of Fury, sister of War and Death, two of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, from a third-person perspective. Fury, a mage who is described as the most unpredictable and enigmatic of the four horsemen, relies on whips, swords, flails, daggers, and magic in combat. Fury can take on multiple different elemental forms in order to enhance her combat capabilities by granting her new weapons, attacks, and traversal abilities. The game takes place in a continuous open-world environment where exploration plays a large role. While exploring, Fury must solve puzzles and overcome platforming obstacles, some of which make use of her whip. Similar to War, yet dissimilar to Death, Fury collects souls from enemies and from objects in the environment as a form of currency or an expendable resource. If you liked the video, click the thumbs up button below. It really helps us out a lot. Of course, subscribe for more content like this and more. If you have anything to add to our list, feel free to comment below. Thanks for checking us out. Till next time, keep attacking.